What up, Screen Fiends? I'm GB, and you're tuned in to Headz TV, where we like to discuss all the wonderful things appearing on your movie and your TV screens. In this episode, I just wanted to take a minute to discuss my feelings towards the Star Wars animated series. Both of them, Rebels, Clone Wars, anything they do in the future. Okay, now, just to say, obviously, if I'm making videos about Star Wars, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. That goes without saying. But I always want more Star Wars. I don't think you could have enough Star Wars. Some Star Wars fans are content with having just the movies. I've always, even since a little kid, wanted more. I wanted better animated series than like that droid series that we had in the 80s, you know? I always wanted better series and TV shows and, live action and, other movies about the characters in Star Wars. And I'm getting that now. Sorry, my hair's all nutty. Jeez, stay there. All right, so, I've always wanted that stuff. So now it's like my dreams are coming true. So when I heard about Clone Wars, I was really excited, and I watched it, and I guess around the second or third season, I just stopped watching it. And then I waited for it to be finished, and then I watched the whole thing binged. Now, why did I stop watching during the beginning of the third season? Well, all right, there's three things here with the animation, okay? There's parts that are amazing. I don't mean the actual animation. I mean the whole series, sorry. Three things with the whole series, Clone Wars we're talking about right now. Some parts of it are amazing, fit perfectly in Star Wars canon. They fit the characters perfectly, and they just work. And then there's parts that feel like they're not part of canon, like they don't work in the confines of what we've already seen in Star Wars. And then there's another part that feels too Saturday morning cartoon for me, and kiddie Saturday morning cartoon. Now I understand it's animation and you're trying to, gear it towards kids, but add things that, the adults can watch too, so the parents can watch it with their kids, blah, 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 right? Okay, I'm a parent, and I watch the Star Wars movies with my kids, just like most people watch the Star Wars movies with their kids. That are Star Wars fans, at least they try to watch them with their kids, right? So, and the movies have things in there geared towards stuff that children like. So I really don't get why they had to make certain things in the animated series so kiddie. And that's not the only thing I mean when I say Saturday morning cartoon. There's certain creatures and certain characters and certain story arcs that feel Saturday morning cartoon. One that stands out to me is look, it's been a while since I watched the whole series, so I don't remember names and all that stuff, but you'll know what I'm saying. There's this one arc where I believe it's Anakin, he's on some planet, and there's like some dude that's all about the dark side and some chick that's all about the light side, and their brothers and sisters, and their dad is like the gray side, and I like the ideas that are talked about in that episode. But that episode felt like something out of Japanese anime. It didn't fit. The people were like these weird ghost things, but not like force ghosts, and I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I haven't watched Rebels yet. I'm waiting for it to finish. I'm glad they're stopping at 4. I did watch the pilot, the first episode, and honestly, it felt too kiddie to me. I didn't care for the first episode. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'll wait and I'll binge it. So that's the Saturday morning cartoon element, right? And then you have things that feel like they're not canon when you watch the movies that follow, or at least in Clone War, in respects to Clone Wars, one thing that seems out of place, and that's Ahsoka. I love the character. I love her arc, everything. But I feel like at some point during Revenge of the Sith, it would be mentioned that Anakin had a Padawan. He spends the whole movie bitching and moaning about, I'm not a Jedi Master. They're not treating me like a Jedi Master. I love that movie. I'm not making fun of it. I love Revenge of the Sith. It's actually one of my favorite Star Wars movies, which I get a lot of shit for when I put it over A New Hope. But it's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. But the whole Anakin spends the whole movie whining and complaining about how they're not treating him like a Jedi Master. So in the series, it's like he's a Jedi Master. He's got a Padawan and everything, and that's never mentioned or anything. So it feels like it's not canon when you watch the movie. So that's where I get and that's not the only thing. There's other little things, but that's the biggest one that stands out, right? And then you have things that work perfectly, like, you get all of the stuff with the Empire. I loved all the Emperor stuff. I love all of the Count Dooku stuff, all the Grievous stuff. I love all of that. But and the Anakin and Obi-Wan stuff is really good, a lot of it, and Yoda too. And that last season that they put out just on Netflix, that season is how the whole show should have played out. Because something else that didn't work in Clone Wars is that it went on too long and there's too many episodes. So you start to get too many episodes where you just follow clones. Should we get some of them? Yeah. I loved some of those characters like Rex and what was it? 5 was one of their names, I think. There was a bunch of them that I liked. I liked the clone episodes, but there was too many of them. So they could have cut those down. And then there was too many episodes that had nothing to do with anything, with canon or even with the main storyline. They were just like throwaway episodes or like bottle episodes that were just these standalone ones that really didn't have any bearing on anything. And you could have got rid of some of those. I mean, some of them were good. Like the Sabine, Satine actually, all of the Satine stuff, the Mandalore stuff, that was all like a big story arc. That wasn't throwaway. But there was some throwaway stuff throughout. And I think we could have done without that, As much as I like the Boba Fett episodes and the Bounty Hunter episodes, you could have did a different show about it. But then again, those are some of my favorite episodes of the Clone Wars. But my point is if you would have planned it out to be 4 seasons from the beginning, 5 the most, but no, I think 5 is too much. So 3 or 4 seasons for this is, to me, what works. So 3 or 4 seasons, you planned it out. If you're only doing 3, then you could still do the 22 episode arc. You just have to get rid of a lot of the throwaway episodes. That's all. Save some of those storylines that you like for something else that you're going to do Star Wars related. That's all. But that's why I had to binge the Clone Wars. And now I'm in the process of trying to figure out which episodes I can throw away and which I could keep as canon to actually watch all together. Because I'm not watching all those episodes that either are too Saturday morning, that don't fit in any of the canon. I'm trying to stay away from those too. So, yeah, that's my feeling on the Clone Wars. And now, like I said, with Rebels, I watched the first episode. I'm not shitting on it, and I'm not saying I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to watch it as soon as season 4 wraps. I'm excited that they're only doing 4 seasons. That says something good to me about the series. Now, I don't really watch the reviews and stuff on things I haven't seen. But, you hear things. And I hear there are some kiddie episodes, kiddie stuff, and some throwaway stuff too. And then I saw, and I would regret watching the video, something on this character called the Bendu, who I look at and I feel like is not a Star Wars character. It feels like it's from Dragon Ball Z, not Star Wars. And I have a big problem with that, because how am I expected to watch this all as canon if a lot of the stuff in the animated series either feels like non-canon, is unbelievable in terms of this doesn't look or feel like something that would be in Star Wars, right? Or something that feels too kiddie when Star Wars itself is meant for everyone. There's never a point in any Star Wars movie where I feel like I'm watching a kiddie film, save for Jar Jar. The one mistake in all of the Star Wars movies was Jar Jar, because he was geared specifically towards small children, and it made adults not like it. And then the kids that did like it when they watched it at first grew up, and now they don't like it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the problem with a lot of the animated series. So if they treated it more like the movies and had stuff sprinkled in there that kids would like and kids would get, and characters that kids would like and kids would get, but you can't take it out of the realm of what's believable to the adult fans, the teen fans, and the hardcore Star Wars fans, no matter whether they're 9 or they're 90. Because I'll tell you this, my son, I try to get him to watch the Star Wars cartoons, the animated series. I don't like to call them cartoons. I know a lot of you don't like me to call them cartoons. But my son watches this stuff, and he'll say to me, Dad, that doesn't feel like Star Wars, or I can't believe this is a Star Wars show. He'll say that to me. And that's kind of what got me thinking about, making this video, because if he sees it and I see it, other people out there, you guys got to see it too. So sound off down below. Let me know if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Either way, it's fine. Let's just start a conversation about it. And, maybe what you hope for the future of the Star Wars animated series. I'm going to do a video following this one about what I would like to see as the next animated series that they do, and what I would like to come from that animated series. So that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. You guys have a good day. And, sound off down below. I will see you next time. Wait, that was out of order. That's not how I usually do it. I got to change it up anyway. I got to get into the groove of the closing. I'm not really good at closing. That's crazy. Have a good day. See you next time. Man, my hair's crazy.